Hello everyone and welcome back to the FM26 Journeyman. My name is Chris and this is episode 17. Today we're going to have a bit of a recap of how the season has gone and discuss our plans for the transfer window, as well as a surprise early season competition. There's not going to be a gameplay heavy episode, there'll be some highlights, but stick around for a chat, a catch up, and hopefully something you can all get stuck into. So as you can see, we finished last season in great form, winning 9 games in a row to finish the season. Didn't drop a single point in the closing stage knockout rounds. And we had that miraculous 3-1 win in the second leg of the final against absolutely all the odds. Where we had a team full of reserve players, debutants, youth players, half-fit players, that somehow managed to grind out a 3-1 win against our biggest rivals in the biggest game in the season. It goes without saying, this is just such a huge result for the club. We've managed to push ourselves from that sort of bracket where we're sort of the top 5 teams that we were part of, we were definitely the 5th by a distance, but we've managed to push ourselves up a level now to becoming one of the main contenders. And as such, we've had some great news stories, such as Cameron bringing glory to Tigres. Tigres fans are in jubilant mood after Chris Cameron led them to an incredible feat of winning the Mexican First Division Closing Stage, while ending Necaxa's 2-year reign on top of the process. A fan spokesperson announced that Cameron was undoubtedly one of the best managers around. In the wake of Tigres' unexpected victory in the First Division Closing Stage, club favourite Luis Alfonso Sosa heaped praise upon manager Chris Cameron for pulling off such an outstanding achievement. Remember, we were predicted 5th in the season predictions, so we did pretty well, to be fair. We're up against some pretty hefty teams in this league, but we've made some smart signings. We've done the best we can with the budget we've got. We've not even spent most of our budget because we just can't attract the higher caliber players. Sosa indicated that in guiding Los Felinos to a triumph few thought possible after 2 years of Necaxa supremacy, Cameron has established his credentials as one of the very best in the game and was thoroughly deserving of the adulation being sent his way. So yeah, we're now announcing ourselves as contenders, and hopefully we can carry that on to next season. We also had a bunch of award winners in the team for last season. Marcio was named as Rookie of the Season. Considering we only paid 325k for him, he was an absolute steal. 36 games, 11 goals, 14 assists, 7.37 av rating. Absolutely top class. He's had a new contract as well, so there's no release clause anymore, so he is safe for the foreseeable future. You might have spotted the other award winner in the background there, but it is Tapia, the goalkeeper, who had a really strong end to the season, actually. 28-year-old Tapia put in a series of sensational performances this year, keeping 13 clean sheets in 34 games, with an average rating of 6.86. Had some really good performances in the knockout rounds. Is a Mexican-born player, so it's nice to have a Mexican-born keeper as well. So yeah, great work from Tapia. We also had a few players in the team of the season, so it goes without saying that Stefanos Simas was selected in the team of the season. Had an absolutely ridiculous first season with us. But we also had Diego Lainez and Roberto Carlos Uribe and Marcio amongst the substitutes for the team of the season. So we had 4 players involved in team of the season. So pretty happy with that. Other big news from the closed season, we have actually had a B club formed for us. So hopefully that helps us manage the progression of our youth players from the youth team right through to the first team squad. We can send some of our lower quality youth players that are unlikely to make it to first team level out to the B team initially because they're currently only semi-professional. The coaching staff there is pretty average to say the least. Either way, the club offered it to me and I thought, sounds interesting, let's do it. If the B team can get up to any sort of level where we can send our youth players out to get loan periods spent together in a competitive environment, that could really benefit us in the future. So we'll see how that goes. We also had the Campeón de Campeones game, which is where the winner of the opening stage of the MX Liga takes on the winner of the closing stage of the MX Liga. So we took on Pachuca for the Campeones trophy, and this is what happened. I was expecting a very competitive game, but as you can see, we started off with a lovely goal from Jerez, clipped into the top corner here. And things only got better from there, really. Marcio whipped one in, Simas nodded it in at the far post to make it 2-0 to us. And then just before half time, Felix clipped Marcio in behind, who squared it back for Lainez to make it 3-0 to us. Then we were awarded a penalty in the second half, which Simas just about put away past Lara, making it 4-0 to us. And the 5-0 rout was completed right at the end of the game, when Cortez's shot was deflected in past Lara. So we managed to win the Campeón de Campeones 5-0. Can't complain with that. So we are now 2 trophies in on our Tigres journey. So things are starting to build some momentum here. That wasn't an easy game by any means, but we certainly made it look like one. It's certainly starting to move us towards being one of those real top teams to beat, and a team that people should be fearful of. Here's a picture of us celebrating the Campeón de Campeones win, winning our second large trophy to fill the cabinet in just a few short weeks. All of this success hasn't gone unnoticed though, because in our season preview for the following season, we've now moved up a slot. We've overtaken Pumas, and we're now in 4th place at 7-1 for the opening stage title. You'll also notice that we've now got 3 players in the Media Dream 11 for the Mexican League. We've got Simas up top, Marcio on the left wing, and also Tapia in goal. So it's nice to see those performances from those guys have really pushed them. They've all gone up ability-wise, and you'd imagine they're all going to be key to us this season. Off the back of that closing stage period, we've managed to get our win percentage back up to 70% whilst at Tigres. So we've now played 47 games at the club, won 33, drawn 7, lost 7, with a goal difference positive 63, 2 trophies, just over a year in charge. So the rebuild is well underway. We're really pushing forwards, and we're creating a whole new era for the club. We have done some early transfer business, but not a great deal. Sadly, even though we've done really well on the pitch, I don't think our reputation's quite caught up off the pitch. The top Mexican players still don't really want to leave the teams that are rated as higher than us. The Mexican players that are abroad generally don't want to come to Mexico. Certainly not the top level ones anyway. But as you can see here, there's been lots of ins and outs in the Mexican First Division. We've brought in 30 players and moved on 15 with a net spend of just under 14 million. Bearing in mind our budget, we have about 50 million quid to spend, but I just can't. There's just not the options. We're going to have to just keep improving. I have brought in some good players though, so there is definitely an improvement to the squad this season, and we've also moved out some players also that were pretty regular during the first season here. As you can see, we've still got 39 million of our transfer budget left available, as well as 200k in wages per week, and our original budget was just shy of 50 million, so we're really not spending the money that we've got available to us here. Where possible, I've tried to bring in as many talented youth prospects from all over the world just to pack our youth squad and create a sort of mini loan farm that we can just either let them sit in the youth teams and improve, or send them out on loan. We can either then integrate them into the first team if they get good enough, or sell them on if they don't, and just keep generating profits for the club whilst we're here. That's why there was 30 incomings. Most of those guys were sort of under 18s that we're gambling on essentially. Let's have a quick look through and just show you some of the bigger ones. So in terms of incomings, we brought in Jose Helmer Alva as a backup centre-back. Very talented young rotation centre-back for us. He has got a release clause, which is annoying, but he started well at the club. We paid 1.3 million to bring him in, and I think his release clause is in the sort of £3 million range, but we'll try and negotiate that out with a new contract at some point. He's not likely to play much, but we've brought in Alex Padilla as our backup goalkeeper in from Glasgow Celtic for just under £1 million. He's pretty much as good as Tapia, to be honest, in terms of rating and attributes. So I think he'd be a really good deputy for us to have. Hopefully means we won't end up playing youth players making their debut in important games going forwards. We made Ricardo Neto signing from Benfica permanent, so he came in for 3.2 million. I've also negotiated a new contract with him to get rid of his release clause that was in his original contract, so he is now our highest rated centre-back. 3.5 star current ability, 22 years old, he's been capped for Portugal's main team. He's been excellent for us, and I think at 3.2 million, a really good, astute buy for us. In my constant push to try and find decent Mexican talent, we've brought in Fabio Revelta. He's a 6'6" target forward, decent finishing, got some good jumping reach, technique, determination. He's not incredible. He's going to be a rotation bench option for us. Hopefully he'll get some decent minutes, and hopefully we can see him improve. At 4 million, he's probably never going to get a great deal better than he currently is, but we'll see how it goes. Also, there's a lot to be said for his rather fetching mustache. Probably the biggest signing we made this summer was Raymond Van Steen, and yes, he does sound not very Mexican. However, he is Mexican. He just happens to have come through in the Eredivisie and ended up in Serie A with AC Milan. However, we brought him in for 5.5 million, and he is now a starting left back. And he's been exceptional so far. As you can see, the physicals are really strong, but also decisions, determination, bravery, work rate, all really good stuff. Technically, not incredible, but the rest is excellent. And at only 21 years old, and already having made a cap for Mexico, hopefully we could see some improvement down the line. But as you know, it's absolutely key we get in high quality Mexicans, and this is the kind of level we can attract at the minute. We can't get the creme de la creme of Mexican players. So we've got to target those young ones with potential, or just really good squad players that can just make our squad generally stronger overall. But I think Raymond definitely increases the starting level of our starting 11. I don't want to show you too many, but we also signed Zinedine Zidane. Yes, Zinedine Zidane Bedoya. He's from Colombia. He's 21. He's a cam. He plays in that free role in the centre attacking position. His stats aren't great in terms of performance so far. His attributes are incredible. I mean, look at them. But in the limited game time I've given him so far, he's not really lived up to what you would expect from those attributes. So I'm going to give him as much time as possible throughout the season and see how it goes. It may be that this is just a player we cash in on because it just doesn't seem to work in our system. We don't really play with a cam. Part of me thought maybe I can play him as a false 9. So I might experiment with that and maybe try him and retrain him as a false 9 potentially. So we'll see how that goes. But we brought him in for 1.6 million. Worst case scenario, it looks like we can sell him for quite a considerable profit if it doesn't work out with us. But for the name alone, that's a cool signing, yeah? Next was a bit of a random one. I was looking for the best Mexicans that were interested in joining us in terms of either reputation or transfer value, and I came across Brian Gonzalez, who is a 27-year-old left winger who was at Southampton but was listed for sale. I didn't particularly want to spend 20-30 million on anyone, to be totally honest, in this league. I just don't think we need to be spending that kind of money. If someone exceptional comes along, I'll consider it, but really, I don't think we need to. So what I did was I offered Southampton a loan, and in Mexico it seems all the loans are over 2 years, so we seem to be sending everyone out on loan for 2 years, and everyone we're bringing in is here for 2 years. So people that were here in the first season, I didn't realise were going to be here for a second season. So we've ended up also bringing Brian Gonzalez in for 2 years, and he's actually been really good in the games he's had so far. As you can see, his attributes are very solid. Not exceptional, really. Nothing above a 16, but also nothing below a 10. So just a very solid player. Quite consistent performances too, so it's been a really good start for him. There is an option to buy, but we have no intention of ever triggering it. It's a lot of money, like nearly 40, I think. 38.5 perhaps, but yeah, we're not going to trigger that. And potentially, I guess, he'll still be listed and probably worth less money by the time he goes back there. So maybe we can sign him in the future. We'll see how it goes. The only other sort of mildly significant signing is Landon Emanalo from Inter Miami. He's the defensive midfielder, USA international, 1 cap. We picked him up for 2.6 million. He's good enough to be in and around the squad, to be totally honest, and he's got potential to get better. However, we're really struggling with the nation rules in our squad registration, so after some games I actually deregistered him, so he's currently in our reserves and in and amongst the youth teams, sort of bouncing around. I will try and loan him out at the next opportunity probably. He's a very good player, but we just can't fit him in with the quotas, so it's just a bit of a catch-22 at the minute. Okay, so on to outgoings. In terms of anyone that you might have seen, we did play Antuna a fair bit in the first sort of half a season. He's gone out to Tijuana for 4 million. Angulo, the old veteran sort of wing-back left mid, also left for Rodez for 600k. And Mitai, our starting left back, Feyenoord came in for him, offered us 8 million, which was pretty much his value at the time. He's been good for us, but again, he's not Mexican, and we had the option to bring in a Mexican left back and sell a non-Mexican born option and just free up another space in our squad for another player. So Mitai got sold for 8 million. Enes Unal also got sold for 2 million. He'd been on the transfer list for half a season and finally was sold, so that was a good sale too. And that's essentially all we did, I think, of any note. Oh, Diaz went for 800k too. He did okay for us in the sort of closing stages of that last season, but just a bit rubbish. So we've sold him on. There is a future sell-on clause and all that kind of stuff on there too. But yeah, 800k in the bank for a player that really shouldn't be anywhere near our first team squad is perfectly fine. For 21 years old, he's not going to get a great deal better. Jump in reach 3 for a right back. We all know on FM you need tall wing backs, full backs, so that's just really not great. So he has gone for 800k. We also started the season with a really good run of league results, so I'm just going to show you the highlights from those. The first game we were against Atlas and we started off with a 3-0 win. Marcio clipped into behind to Revolta, back to Marcio, Simas with the close range finish. You'll be pleased to hear Simas has started the season in exactly the same form as he finished the last season. He's bagging goals for fun and just looks absolutely outrageous. In fact, most of the team look outrageous. In these opening 4 games, we've managed to put away 13 goals in total. Araujo with this second one against Atlas. Lainez again involved in the goals. In this one, it was a nice little cutback move there for Simas to get his second of the game. In this game against Mazatlan, we actually won 4-0 in the end. As you can see here, Marcio put Cortez in for the early goal in this one. Cortez is a youth player who we've been bringing through for the last sort of 6 months or so. Can play centre mid, right wing, CDM. I've been rotating in with Jerez in the deep line playmaker role. Lovely goal here actually, headed across from Gonzalez, finished off by Simas to make it 2-0 in this game. As you can see, some really nice intricate play from the team here too. Then we managed to create another goal here with Marcio scoring after a nice move around the edge of the box. All of this before half time. And then late on in the game, we managed to get a fourth. Gutierrez intercepts, Robles, our sort of youth option right winger / striker. Alava, the centre back I showed you. Araujo into Zinedine Zidane, and then Gonzalez finished off the game to make it 4-0. Gonzalez has started in great form for us. We then played San Luis in a match that we won 3-0 with Marcio playing up top alongside Simas. Gonzalez on the left wing again. And we played really well again. Simas in the build-up. Off to Marcio and Gonzalez in for a lovely little side-footed finish to the near post. It's been really good having Marcio playing as that false 9 alongside Simas, just linking things up with all the attacking players. I've kept it so that both wide men are in the wide forward roles. Here Simas goes through and does what he does best, puts it top bins. Absolutely clinical player for us. I'm pretty certain he's averaging a goal contribution a game in his career at Tigres so far. And here we are again entering the box. out to Araujo, V here, Lainez, who then finishes low and hard to finish the comprehensive victory against San Luis. We then had a game against Leon, which we were also 1-3-0. So, as you can see, just starting the season in absolutely outrageous form here. All the new guys seem to be clicking really nicely. The Marcio-CMAS partnership up top seems to be absolutely key, and that's going to be a really strong area for us this season if we can just keep those two guys fit. But as you'll see here, Cortez down line to Lainez, edge of the box to Araujo, CMAS picks it up, out to Van Steen, into Cortez, who puts it away to make it 1-0. He's been doing great for a 17-year-old, just taking on a lot of responsibility in the middle of the park, cropping in with assists and with goals. As you'll see here, CMAS also gets another one, his gamely goal, rising highest from a sort of bobbling around ball in the box to make it 2-0. Sakic has remained at centre-back for us, alongside Neto, who's now here on a permanent deal. And Marcio appears to be out on the left wing for this one. Estrada is our sort of youth option on the right wing. He can play left wing too, so he's getting some minutes. And he does really well here before cutting it back for Zinedine Zidane to get his first goal for Tigres. So yeah, Zidane has arrived. Whilst you guys are here, I just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting the series. Thanks for checking in, leaving likes, subscribing. We're now up to 16 subscribers. Been getting likes all over the place. We've had comments on videos. I've done a couple of shorts that seem to be doing quite well. So thank you all for your time spent watching the content. I'm having a really good time playing this save, so it's been a lot of fun. We're actually doing quite well in it so far. If there's things about the videos that you like, please let me know. If there's things that you don't like, also let me know. Come and say hi in the comments. I'll reply to everyone that gets in touch. If you've made it this far through this video and you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. That would be hugely appreciated. It's my first time doing a YouTube series, so after 25 years of playing the game, it's really cool to be sharing the awesome stories and narratives that we can create in our own little football world with like-minded people that also love the mad world of Football Manager. So I just wanted to say thank you, but definitely subscribe. Yeah, like right now. But that is our catch-up episode kind of done for today. We've got 2 trophies in the bag. We're moving in the right direction. The squad is improving, and the next episode will be a bit of a different one. We've got a tournament in when you're in the Mexican League where you play against teams from the USA and Canada. It's called the Leagues Cup. And we're going to do an episode where I take you through all of our results in the Leagues Cup from start to finish. And so you'll see how we get on in the next episode. See you then, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care and goodbye.